Hi, I'm Vivian Oliver-Hernandez. I am the One Sheet Digital Literacy Coach, and in this tip of the week, I am going to talk about your Google Chrome tabs and how to make them function so that way it's easier to navigate and a little bit of tips and tricks. So I have about 4 to 5. I'm going to see how many we can get through in this video, and yeah, I hope it's exciting. The way this relates back to digital learning is if you know how to organize your Google Chrome, especially your tabs, the easier it is. For reference, when I talk about tabs, I'm talking about the very top part. So all those things you can have open, those are all your tabs. Okay, so let me go ahead and start that. So in your tabs, you can do what's usually normal. And what I mean is you click around and you go to your different web pages. Now, let's say you have something that is, let's say you have a bunch of tabs open and you're like, I have way too many open. I need to find a specific tab very quickly. Well, what you can do is they have a new thing. They have this drop down right here that's next to the minimize. This new drop down is what allows you to actually search your tabs and find them easier if, let's say, you have more than what you can see, because I know how many some of us educators can have, so you can always search. So if you know I'm looking for One Sheet High School, as I'm searching, it narrows it down to the possible ones I have open. It even narrows it down to recently closed tabs. If I had closed it and it's like, oh, you may want this because you just opened it, that's what's nice about this drop down is you can search. So it's new. The shortcut to access it quicker is if you hold Control Shift A at the same time, but you can also just click here and it'll help you find your web page when it's open in that window. Now let's say you have tabs that you want to group together because you hate the top, you hate how clustered they are. Well, you can group your tabs, and the way you group your tabs is, let's say I have this open. I have Spring ISD and I want to group it in my Spring group. Well, what you can do is if you right click on a tab, you will get a whole bunch of options of what you can do. The way you can go ahead and add it is if you go here to add tab to group, you do have the option to create a new group, or you can always tie it to another group that already exists, and it automatically puts it there. So while leaving this one closed. And as you can see, I can actually open and close the tabs. Now, let's say I want to remove it from the group and have it on its own. It does do that. And if I click and drag, I can make it a little bit more functional. So it's nice. So I do recommend looking at the other options you have when you right click on a tab and kind of playing with that because it'll help you organize. Let's say you close the whole thing, right? And you're like, oh no, you close it and you want it back. Well, I'm a little hesitant to close it right now just because I'm recording. But the nice trick is, let's say hypothetically I closed it and then I open it and this is the default, okay? What you can do to get all your tabs back, especially the groups, is you can go to the 3 dots under the X. You can go to history, and then in history, it'll show your tabs. I've tested it out, and it does show like your tabs, and if you click on it with the groups, it'll show you your groups. So let me go ahead and open one just really quickly so I can show you. Let's see if it does it. So I'm going to click my name. There it is. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to history. It doesn't show it because I currently have it open. That's what I was afraid of. But it will show in the drop down so you can open them all back up, which is nice. Another thing you can do is you can go ahead. It's going to show up kind of like this one where it's going to ask you, do you want to restore the window with all your groups? You say yeah, and it'll restore the window. Another thing that you can do is, let's say I just close this and I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to close that tab. The shortcut to get it back, if you hold down Control Shift T, again, I'm going to repeat, if you hold down Control Shift T on your keyboard, Control Shift T, it'll bring back that tab. So let's say you close something by accident and you want to go ahead and bring it back real quick. Again, all I did was hit at the same time all 3 keys, Control Shift T, and it brought it right back. If I did it again, it opened it up in a new window. Speaking of windows, let's say I have multiple windows open and I just want to be able to go back and forward or do whatever. The nice thing is if you click on a tab and you drag into another Google Chrome, you see how it's automatically trying to attach it? I can go ahead and attach it and it goes into that new window. Let's say I want it to be in a separate window, like on its own, because I don't want it in this one with everything else. If I click on it and drag it out, I can drag it out and it has a different window. So that's really cool too. You can click and drag your tabs and move it around. So yeah, those are some of the quick things I wanted to share: how to group your tabs, how to move your tabs, how to search your tabs, and then the Control-Shift-T of how to restore your tab, or just going to the 3 dots history and doing that. So I hope these Google tips were helpful. I know it was a lot. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I hope you have a good tab week. Bye.